Hey guys, welcome back to my garden. It is the last garden tour for July, and I'm going to walk around my front yard and show you everything that is growing. So hope you enjoy. Start up here and just look at this pot that I planted up. It was a super cheap annual plants that I put in here, caladiums and begonias, and then this is a polka dot plant. The caladiums are kind of taking over, but I kind of like how it's looking. So that's that. This hedge I don't normally trim because the less I trim it, the more it blooms, but in the winter. But I think I'm going to come through here and trim this. It's definitely needed. Oh, look, a ball. So over here, this is still growing and filling in really nicely, mostly natives in this little shade bed here next to the front door. I do have a couple little things like these spider plants that, you know, they were just given to me and they're in cute little pots. So I leave them here. Oh, except not in this one. Mosquitoes gonna grow in that guy. I swear. But anyways, so I still have the same ground covers growing. This is the Florida peperomia native here. I have my bird's nest fern, this columbine. It died, well, not died, all of the bloom stalks fizzled away, and I did scatter the seeds in here, and this part is regrowing. So I'm hoping that it spreads out and fills in here. The oak leaf hydrangea is doing great. I have no idea when this thing will bloom. It would be blooming now, I think, if it was going to. I think it's just going to grow at least for this year. These Cooley's water willow, they're getting closer and closer to touching. This is still a random green. So like I mentioned in previous videos, this is a Florida endangered plant. It's native to only about 4 counties in Florida, and it is what was I gonna say? And it's in the middle Citrus, Sumter, Lake County, and Hernando County, I think. I am 1 county below that, but it's doing great here in the shade. It gets partial sun in the morning and then pretty shaded the rest of the day. But it did start blooming. Oh, look, there's a few open. They close up at night, but if you look, you zoom in a little bit. So the blooms are really dainty, but it's super pretty. So this would go well, you know, with any kind of color scheme, I think, because that purple is really pretty. But yeah, so these will be a perennial ground cover here, and they will just keep filling in. This is another rose blooming. It's got buds on it again. That got spider mites pretty bad. Here's another columbine. Like I said, this one is another one that I scattered the seeds, and I'm hoping that those are columbine seedlings. So I'm taking note that that's what these look like, and we'll see if a columbine grows up here, because nothing else right here would have had seeds. So we'll see if that makes it. Over here, I've been having, like I said, spider mite issues in my garden because it was so dry. It still is dry. I mean, it's rained a few times now, but overall it's dry still. And spider mites love hot, dry conditions, and that's not normally what we have. We normally have wet and hot conditions, so it's brand new for me, but I'm making do. If you look at the little speckles, this is spider mite damage, which I'm gonna zoom in on a video and see what it looks like. I don't see actual spider mites on it now. Well, there might be a couple, but there's no way for me to treat this whole thing consistently. Actually, there is spider mites on that. Shit. Oh, I almost said shit. Shoot. Let's see. As much as I hate to do it, I might have to cut this beauty berry down. So annoying, because it's finally gotten some size and it's filling in here, but it'll grow back. And it's got berries on it. I just hate to spread them in the garden because they will spread. I could treat it with something like neem oil, but it will lose its leaves later on in the season. I just don't know what I should do. Anyways, but I have my okra plants up here bordering this little garden, and then so these two are Coreopsis leavenworthii, or the tick seed. So I cut them way back. This one for some reason is looking real sad. I don't know why this one's looking worse than the other ones. Although it does look like it has some kind of damage to the leaves, probably some fungus. But I cut them back because they were falling over completely. Oh no. It's a yellow fly. And then when I cut this one back as an experiment, it grew back nice and a lot shorter. So that is what I was trying to achieve. So those ones will start blooming. Well, I know that one will. That one hopefully will start blooming. But these just, I mean, the amount of seeds that come out of these plants is crazy. But I still have the black-eyed Susan, the Coreopsis, and the cranberry hibiscus all growing here. And then I have some native porterweed down here and all these weeds. This is chamber bitter, and it takes over in the summer. And there's nothing I can do about it except pull it out. And it's going to reseed itself, but in the grass, I literally just mow it because there's no way for me to control it. I'll have to get in here and weed this a little better. And then there's a couple more leeks finishing up in here. And then the coral honeysuckle is still going strong. There's a little less blooms now than in the early spring, but it's still got blooms all over it. And then my jasmine, this time of year, it grows so fast, I can't really tame it, so I don't. And then you'll see in the backyard I have a loofah coming this way and a gourd coming this way. And last year, I don't know if it was just because of the mixture of these vines, like pests can normally bother these plants up here. Maybe the vines growing in it kind of helped the pest pressure on those edible vines. So we're going to let it do that again. I have loofahs growing all down in the front yard because of the backyard trellis. Over here, all the zinnias are growing and looking really pretty. I have let's see, I don't remember all of them, the names of them. I can't. I know this is like the Senorita something, and these are the Benary's giant purple. And these I have to stake up because they're falling down. Ooh, it's getting caught. But I still have lots of carrots in here, and these carrots are massive now, so these are gonna end up just going to seed. I think that might actually be forming a flower stalk, which would be cool. But yeah, all these zinnias are super different. I've never seen anything like this one. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. This one's covered in spider mites. Gosh. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually got spider webs all in it. God. These things are driving me insane, and there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to pull plants because I can't treat my whole garden for spider mites. There's no way. Oh look, here's an okra. An okra growing in the front yard. Oh yeah, and look at the size of that carrot. Let me pick a couple of these for the bunny. But yeah, the zinnias, they're gonna do their thing. Hopefully I'll get some seeds from them, and then as the summer progresses, they'll die of disease more than likely. But I did put some roselle hibiscus in here. There's one there. There's a super tiny one there, but that's probably not getting as much sun. And then I have some greens growing in here, and there's another roselle. I might sow some more, what are they called? Some more sunflowers. But I think this just looks super pretty. And then I think that's all that's in here. Stupid weeds. It's the time of year, summer. Things over here is the same. My, what is it called? Flatwoods plum tree. Still a baby. This little border is looking good. The basil, I'm just gonna leave it until it looks bad. But I did transplant some different grasses in here and some yarrow that was in a spot that was getting too little sun. And then, let's see, there's some goldenrod, another roselle hibiscus. So this will actually make the edible calyxes that I'll be able to use. More yarrow. This is the orange coneflower, Florida native here. And then more coneflowers growing up in there. My phone cut off. But yes, I have different small purple coneflowers in here growing all kind of throughout. More grasses. Those are dwarf Fakahatchee grass, I believe. And then another roselle. That border is still doing the same. Looks good. If this has spider mites on it, I'm going to scream. Like, literally no place in my garden is safe. I hope it's fine, because I'm doing absolutely nothing in this spot. It's all native plants, and they don't need my intervention. But I have more of the early goldenrod out here starting to bloom. I have this coral, or corky stem passion flower vine. The sage is blooming still. So everything is looking really good out here. I have the grasses, the coffee plants, the Carolina jasmine, and then some more coneflower. Let me try to dig it out. And then this porterweed is growing. And then this is a loofah, which is just growing along the ground. I was kind of just leaving it to see what it did. So everything is doing what it should this time of year. I just need to focus on seeding some more stuff in there because I think I'm going to lose some of those zinnias eventually to disease, which is natural in this time of year. Over here, this bed is pretty much the same. The goldenrod's getting a little taller, which I'm super happy that I did what I did earlier in the season and cut them back, because if you look, I'm going to end up getting more blooms and these things are not going to be quite as tall, which is nice. I took a lot of the blanket flower out of this front part to just let some of this other stuff breathe. It was kind of taking over the sidewalk here. And then, yeah, so I still have lots of, oh, that was a big lizard. I still have lots of the Florida green eyes or the chocolate flower. The goldenrod is doing good. And then there's some corky stem passion flower in the front here. Unless it got eaten. Oh no, it's still here. But yeah, it's doing really good. It's actually, there's another little bit growing right there. So that's what it does. It grows runners under the ground. So pretty plant. And then this area back here is basically the same, and until I get to a nursery, this has not changed. I'm going to just get a bunch of frog fruit transplants, I think, and just fill in the whole thing, because yeah, and then it'll be frog fruit and then maybe some twin flower, and then I'm going to revamp that little corner there and still continue my pathway. There's just lots to do and so little time to do it, but this little portion by the sidewalk is doing good. Got my okra producing, the goldenrod, the blanket flower, which I probably should pull out some of it because it'll just take over like it is here. But it's kind of like the border to my yard. And that is it. So basically, that is all for the front yard here in July. I'm going to go take care of some of those spider mite issues and figure out what to do with that one plant. I think I should cut it back so I don't proliferate a problem. Anyways, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your month. Bye.